Um, Brian, do you want us to let people know that they can go to the Infinite Black website and check out the new
That would
Vast
be
Grimm?
fantastic, and I believe my audio has returned. I'd unplug something and plug it back in. Go figure. Yes, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we will start this all over. Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Vast Grim RADiculous Terror, where my machine has, like Michael said, been infected by some sort of horrible nano worms. This is our bi weekly actual play of Vast Grim. Now that we're up to episode 4, a lot has happened in the past 3 episodes, but you can dive right in if you have not watched before. Vast Grim is the first RPG published by Infinite Black, a brutal sci fi horror setting where each member of this legion is trying to survive. Maybe they'll save what's left of humanity, maybe they'll save their own ass, who knows? It's compatible with Merkborg, it uses their third party license, and you can find out a lot more about it at vastgrim.com. Pledge Manager is still open on GameFound, and I'm Brian Cullen, the host, GM, and creative lead for the project. We won't dive into the rules because we're already running behind, and you'll pick them up real quick as we play. I'll give a quick little recap of what happened last time. Then I'll let everybody say hello, introduce themselves, and we'll dive into the adventure. At the very beginning of the last episode of the adventure, a bright colored spaceship appeared out of nowhere. It was a speeder ship, and it had hailed the comms on this Legion ship, and it was Axton, this guy that Matisse had actually stolen something from him while they were trying to get a piece for their previous ship to try and repair it. Him and his thugs wanted his the bank that was stolen back, and the contents or whatever came from them, because they're just out for anything they could get. Luckily, this legion evaded them, made off, and while they were on their way to the Rings Eternal, Matisse, while searching around, discovered some random tributes. Didn't quite know what they were, activated them, and then somehow these two giant, foul, nasty warhounds appeared on the ship in a small quarters where everything just went to hell. Some things were injected into one of them. Dog feces, or not dog, beast feces went everywhere. It was very disgusting. And Kynes had to do a whole lot of cleanup afterwards, but now they're back on track and heading towards the Rings Eternal to try and get another piece to this giant device that they believe may help annihilate the worms across the universe. So, to get things started, if you guys want to say a little bit about who you are and where people can find you, real quick, just so that in case my machine shuts down and we don't get to do that at the end of the show this week, I want to make sure you guys get to say who you are. We'll start with Michael because you're at the top of my screen. Hang on, Michael. Hang on. Because now your audio is not there. Because why would that work? I can't hear you at all. Maybe it's my computer. No, because it's not showing up on the audio output capture. I can't hear anyone at all. Can you guys hear each other? Okay, great. You guys can hear each other. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh. Um, let's see. Brian is. All I'm seeing is some typing. That's great. Um, I'm trying to see what is happening with this audio output capture and why it's no longer working. Let's see. Sound standard. My machine does not like it. Switch to that real quick, then switch back. Unplug my brain from everything. Check your outputs. I'm trying. I'm trying to check them. It's properties. It's just not seeing the previous one. Default, select an option. They're just things are just gone from the audio output. Done. Here, let me see if I can add a new audio output. It all happened when I unplugged my microphone and plugged it back in. Let's see. Okay. Add a source. So I think it's now possibly capturing you, but I cannot hear you, which is pretty rad. I don't know how this magic happens or why it does what it does. Properties. The aggregate device is just not there anymore. So, the weird thing is, I just cannot hear any of it. Let's try and unplug that mic.
And now we can't hear Brian.
We are cursed tonight.
It is a new option.
All the configurations. So pretty soon, what we're going to see Brian's mouth move and Tony's voice is going to come out of it.
That's right.
Oh, that'd be good.
You know, it's probably that malware Kynes downloaded a couple sessions ago. It's finally kicking
We
in.
can't hear you.
Jeez, way to go.
No.
Good job, Tony.
I wonder if the audience can hear
Okay.
us. If all the audience
So-
is enabled on the scene, if you're using Streamlab.
So,
I love that audience is trying to do tech support for Brian.
I think he's using vanilla OBS and not Streamlabs.
No,
I
I'm
use
using
vanilla
Streamlabs.
I also use vanilla.
No,
He's also somebody was just giving Streamlabs based advice.
Oh, right.
Um,
I don't know what's going on. Hang
also, he's on a
second.
Mac.
Also, he's on a Mac.
Here's some dumb stuff. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you
Yes.
now.
And everybody else can hear me. I don't know what well, no, now your audio's gone in here. Can somebody say something?
Ooh,
Somehow,
you can't have it all.
somehow something happened with my audio that it just muted me in Google Hangouts.
Oh.
So, and now
Yeah,
all of
right.
a sudden things are showing up in
So
the
that-
in the-
Wait,
what's that? What?
did you have to hear all of us?
They can hear all of us.
They can hear all of us.
Hooray!
Whoa!
And I will say, hey,
Hey!
Brian,
Just
just
don't
keep
touch anything.
Brian,
Mm,
just keep
yeah.
an eye on it, because for me, Google Meets will just drop my audio sometimes, but the stream can still hear me. It's very weird.
Okay. Yeah, I think I may need to switch out of Google Meets because I think maybe that's the culprit for why all of a sudden my internet just goes poof.
Yeah.
So, wherever we left off, oh, you guys were about to introduce yourselves. That's where we were.
Yes, hi, Michael, Dead Aussie Gamer here, playing Matisse, the kleptomaniac French doctor who wears a respirator. I also have a penchant for teleporting myself, monsters, and my allies into the vast unknown of space. Hopefully I won't do that today, and hopefully I will get to continue to live a long and meaningful life filled with homemade moonshine. Done.
Perfect. Katie.
Hello, everybody. I am Goblin Katie, aka Katie Downey, and this evening I will be playing Davar Zeltraburn, or Dr. Z, the grumpy, focused, determined, rebellious, de facto leader of this legion, I guess.
Yes. Okay.
And I am a twisted biochemist.
Excellent. And Dave?
So I'm Dave from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds, and I am playing Kuro Codex, the Treacherous Merc, CC for short. And I love piloting. I'm so good at it. And as I've proven time and time again, you only need one maneuver in space. It's the corkscrew.
Excellent. And Tony?
Hey, my name is Tony Vincent. I'm Chief Alchemist from Plus One EXP. We multi-class in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. If you're looking for a great present for a bearded GM or player in your life, head over to Plus One EXP to check out our bespoke alchemical beard bombs or our original game Beards and Beyond, or any of the other stuff that we do.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, so Legionnaires, you were on the ship heading towards the Rings Eternal. And the Rings Eternal, for those that don't know, is a planet that is circled by rings much like Saturn, but in the outer lying areas of those rings are tiny exoplanets. And on those exoplanets, wars have been waged for like 366 years, back and forth, first between the people that live there, then against those that had become infected by the Grimm. On your map that is as you projected every now and again, you have realized that the small planetoid Carrion B57 is the one that you are trying to get to find this piece of this worm death machine that you are in search of. It's going to take another day to get there, and because another day passes, we must see if a torment occurs. And since last time Dave suggested that he should roll, Dave, why don't you roll a d8 and let's see if a torment comes to pass?
What could go wrong? That is a 8, so I think we're good.
Yes, no torment comes to pass on this day. Everyone can be healed up. You have your your favors and your neuromancy points back because you've healed things up. I believe that even though with all of the nasty filth that was in the ship, Kynes, you probably managed to get the ship as clean as you can.
The ship is absolutely, other than the glitter, the ship is spick and span, absolutely clean. There is still a horrible smell in the captain's room, and we can't get it out. Like it's there.
Yeah.
That's going to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that this was not my fault. I may have brought the demon dogs here, but I certainly didn't make them do all of.
Oh, you're gonna
This
blame
accent.
me for this?
I'm not blaming. I'm saying just I am not at fault. If you want to take the blame, that is entirely your fault. It's perfectly fine.
Granted, I did inject them, but if they weren't there in the first place.
Look, that is just the pot calling the kettle a warhound.
How about
Let's,
a 50-50 split on the blame here?
Yeah, I think you guys can share this one. All I know is Kynes and myself were not in there. You guys were, and then we had warhounds everywhere.
Which reminds me, Kynes, thank you very much for cleaning that up. You are greatly appreciated.
Of course, Captain Doctor.
As you're having this discussion, you get beeps on the comm deck saying that you're approaching your destination and that you will be within range of atmosphere within 15 minutes. Is there anything that you would like to do before getting up to this planetoid Carrion B57?
Dr. Z just hold on to the two tributes we found.
Yes, I do have both the tributes. We're gonna wait until we're planet side to check out what the other one does. It seems
Wait,
like
so-
we have to do.
So
Yeah, I have a couple of nanosecond conversations with Vector also too.
Vector, while talking, Vector would like to know what is it that you want on this planetoid? All readings are showing that it is still in the middle of a brutal conflict. I do not suggest that we hunker down here.
Oh, we won't be staying long. We just need to continue the research.
Yes. Did you share those plans with me? I don't think you did. Now would be a good time to share all that you were trying to find.
I've already uploaded them to the ship's hard drive. You should have access to them.
Accessing.
He does not, because I totally partitioned him off from everything else last time. He's in his own little private simulation.
Strange. Okay.
do we know what the next part is we're looking for here?
Does it have you looked at all on the schematics to try and figure out what that piece is here?
If we had a day, I certainly did.
Okay. You, as far as you can tell, it looks like a much larger piece than what you have currently picked up. It looks like it's probably going to fill up a large chunk of the cargo bay of this ship. May even have to make a little bit of room. There was one kind of pallet that was just kind of empty but taking up a lot of space on the ship that you may have to get rid of to fill it. You can't tell what it is from the schematics because it's all outlines, but it looks large, cylindrical, and it just looks like it has a small type around it that just says inoculate.
I'll relay the essentials of that information. It appears we may need to find a place to keep all these pieces secure, or we may need a larger ship.
Well, we can keep an eye out when we're planet side to see if we can find anything. But otherwise,
I presume the ship has scanners. Could I scan for any derelict vessels that might be larger than the one we're driving?
Roll a presence test.
All right. So that's a D20.
Yep.
That is a 19.
As you're looking through the scanners to try and pick up any ships that are anywhere near this little planetoid, it does look like there are a number of larger ships outside the planet's surface that are just kind of hovering there. They do not look it looks like they have power. You're getting power readings from them. It doesn't look like they're derelict and just kind of drifting. So it looks like oftentimes when at war on these exoplanets, some larger transport vessels will be stationed just outside the atmosphere of the planet to deploy more and more either legionnaires or Grimm, depending on whose side they're on and who's winning the battle on the planetoid.
Do we know anything about this current conflict?
Basically there have been on the different planetoids around the Rings Eternal, there have been humans trying to just survive and fight back the Grimm that keep trying to take over. So most likely it's probably some small pocket of human survivors trying to fight off a large army of Grimm.
all right.
So
Find anything?
here's a list of all these ships that are bigger than us that we may be able to steal within the vicinity.
I want to find one that's got a decent weapons system on it.
Did I find anyone that's got a decent weapon system on it?
Yes, like one of the largest ones out there is like a giant war frigate. So it's like huge, and it's probably got massive amounts of weapons on it.
Captain, I found one labeled the Excalibur. It is a war vessel quite large. Can we man it with the amount of people we have on the crew, or do we
That
need
was
more
going to be
people?
my question.
It would be pretty tough. You could probably get it around, but you wouldn't be able to fly it and fight with it all at the same time. So you'd probably have to like run from one station to another if it came to that.
Okay, so ideally, what we'd need is an AI of some sort that might be able to help us micromanage.
Yeah.
If only we had such a thing.
I don't know. A ship like that's going to have a lot of people on it.
It seems to be. Ooh, do we have
That's my concern
life
as well.
scanners?
Hmm?
Do we have biological scanners?
You would have to. This ship would have to get significantly closer to be able to scan that. Because that's not what the ship was made for.
I don't think this is the place to pick up a new ship. I think we're going to want something a little more secluded, a little more out of the way.
Yeah.
This is kind of crowded around here. Matter of fact, I want to try and like skirt the other ships and stay out of their sensor ranges. And kind of like slip into the atmosphere unnoticed.
Okay.
Maybe I can hide behind a moon or something. I don't know.
Sounds good. Will you roll a piloting test to see how well you manage to do that?
I would love to do that. All right, that's an 11 on the die, and I get a +2, so that's a 13. And is that presence or agility?
That is presence, and I think and I think your piloting's a 10, right?
Yeah, so that's a 15 total.
So you manage to navigate just fine. As you start coming into the atmosphere, you see that like there are just the atmosphere is just thick with smoke that's gray and purples, and just so many things must be on fire down on the surface. You can see like large groups of the Grimm. For anybody that's watching that doesn't know what the Grimm are, they're just really like the bodies have twisted and contorted. There's neon blue, like electric blue eyes with magenta streams going through their face as their skin breaks open, and it looks like there's just huge, massive amounts of them. And they all seem to be moving in a general direction towards the area where Kind's map is directing you to go.
Of course they are. I'm going to head over to the weapons console.
Okay. The ship has the two small cannons on the front. It's got the 4 in the back.
Mm-hmm. How close are we to civilization, basically, where we might be witnessed if I were to start blowing stuff up?
Right now, like you're probably about five minutes at your good speed to where you're supposed to get to. Everything else just looks destroyed. Like this planetoid has just been ravaged by war. So what buildings there were are just kind of in shambles.
Yeah. I'm going to have some fun then and blow some shit up.
Awesome. So are you just aiming at the masses of Grimm that are heading that way? Excellent.
Yeah.
Just give me a D20 roll and let me know what you get.
That is a 16.
You're just unloading the guns on this ship, and it's just destroying, like hitting multiple Grimm at one time. You're seeing bits and pieces of them explode and fly out. As pieces fly out, you can see like worms that were inside these bodies exploding outwards.
With each shot, she recites a name, and she's going through the list of people who were in the lab the day of the accident that caused her to get Grimm infected or worm infected.
Excellent. And you managed to shoot as many as you'd like on your way to there. But you also notice as the Grimm are getting shot, all of a sudden they will all turn their heads and all kind of look in the same direction. As they all kind of notice that you are firing down upon them.
Do they turn simultaneously like they have a hive mind?
They do.
Yeah, good to know. Okay.
Well, so much for the subtle approach.
Merde.
Subtlety has never been our strong suit.
Within a matter of minutes of that happening, you come upon like a fairly large stronghold that looks almost rectangular, with the two front corners kind of jutting out. It has these gigantic, what look like almost concrete walls surrounding it, and you see piling up to the walls right by like the opening that is closed. A bunch of Grimm that are trying to climb up the walls. There's piles and piles of Grimm down below that look like they have fallen, and it's almost like they're just building a ramp up the fallen Grimm to try and get over the wall into this facility that is on the map that you're heading to.
About how long does it seem like it would take for them to build up enough of a ramp for them to start spilling over?
Probably like another 30 minutes to an hour, probably.
Okay. We're on a limited time frame, gentlemen. Kynes, should I refer to you as male? Do you have a preference?
I do not have a preference, Doctor.
All right.
Is this a different day to the Warhound thing that we
It
did?
is.
Can I use this opportunity to try to create 2 random creations, please?
Yes.
I would like to as well while we're doing that. So it's a D6 and then a D4 for number of doses, right?
It's
a D8 and a
then
D4.
Or D8.
All right, I got 1 and 2.
A Nanite Dance Party for the 1, and 2 is Fog of Pleasure.
I got
Okay.
6 and 7.
You've got Sixth Sense, and Gin and Juice.
What does Sixth Sense do?
It is synthetic spinal fluid that gives you a full day of +2 presence.
Oh.
The shot has to be administered to the spine.
Now I was meant to ask this before. When we after we create the doses, do they expire after 24 hours?
They do.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. That's sad.
So
You've been injecting us with expired things.
Expired meds.
the
But
defense
it's
is at the
sad because I
wall.
had 4 resist Grimm that expired, so
Here, you'll be fine.
yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
What kind of defenses are at the wall? Like, does it seem like they're putting up a fight, or
It doesn't look like there's people like standing atop the wall, but it's strange because there are massive amounts of Grimm bodies piled up along the edge of it. So something's been happening that's been stopping them as they get to that point.
so? Can I try and do like a flyby and like fly parallel to the wall, get the ship parallel to the wall, and like buzz the Grimm so that they either fall or maybe get caught in the afterburner of the ship?
Sure, you can totally try that. Go ahead and roll your piloting for that maneuver.
All right.
I love how optimistic you are.
All right. Well, I will. Let's see. I will use my favor.
So what'd you get, Dave?
I rolled a 3, and that's a 5. And you can use a favor to lower it by 6. Is that what it is?
By 4. You can
By
lower
4.
the difficulty of something by 4, or you can use it to re-roll.
Yeah, I guess I'll be re-rolling. I can't possibly do worse. All right, so that's an 11 on the die. So that's a 13, and my piloting DC is a 10.
So you like turn this ship is meant for being able to maneuver well. So you like turn it on its side and you're flying along, spitting out some afterburner, hitting them and you see Grimm dropping as they're getting blasted as you're circling around this base. And as you're circling, you can tell that there is this one main building, and then it looks like there's a landing area behind it, and it looks like that's about it.
Okay.
But a much larger area is actually walled off than what's right there at that building.
But there does appear to be a place where we could land.
Yes.
Kynes, is there any way for you to communicate with the facility?
We can't hear you, Kynes.
Oh, no.
Apparently, he can't communicate with us, let alone the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Google Meet just did it to me. Ship, can you communicate with the base on the surface?
Dialing. I will try and dial. Hailing LabCorp. Hailing LabCorp. Hailing LabCorp. Hailing LabCorp. It goes
Is
on like
it
that
weird
for a
that I
few minutes.
imagine it making the noise that the rotary dial phones make when he goes like?
They do not seem to be responding. I think they might be busy.
Or dead.
Yes, I am putting my money on dead.
It's an occupation.
All right, let's land and get in there. We've got a limited amount of time. 30 minutes, and then we're out, whether we have it or not.
You all put the ship down in the space behind the main building. It doesn't look like there are any doors in the back here. There are windows fairly high up. It looks like this building itself is probably about 2 stories tall. There's windows on the second story, nothing down below. And the only real entrance was around the front side where the wall was kind of blocking it from... The wall was blocking it from the front entrance. So you'll have to hop off it and go by foot at that point.
Quick question. What is the maximum stat you can have? Is it 3?
It's 6.
It's 6? Okay.
I've gotten mistaken.
I hand Matisse a vial and say, I'll inject you if you inject me.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize this was this kind of party, Captain. But
I put my injector up against his spine and pull the trigger and give him a dose of Sixth Sense.
Roll a d8 and let me know what you get.
8.
Okay. And will you do the same?
I will indeed. And I get a 7.
Okay. You both have a +2 to your presence for the day.
Ooh.
You two aren't going to start shitting all over the place now, are you?
No, that expired.
Mine
don't
hasn't.
need that one again. That was nasty.
It was effective.
Yeah, I pulled out a one that looks exactly the same, and I look and say to Koro, like, mine hasn't expired.
Oh no. So as I leave the ship, I use the clicker to lock it.
Okay, nice. Excellent. Beep, beep. As the ship locks down, you can see actually everybody roll a presence test.
Oh, really glad I did that.
That's a 10.
Go.
12.
25.
Yowzers.
21.
Okay. So everybody but CC notices a shadow coming overhead as what looks like that giant ship that you were kind of scanning is starting to come down closer to the surface of this planetoid.
Huh. Is there a way to detect if you've been scanned?
You could go back. You could go back on the ship and try and see, or try and see if you could hack into.
I'm
the
just wondering if they would be able to tell we scanned them.
Oh, gotcha. It's very unlikely.
Okay.
What do you think? You think there's people on that ship or Grimm?
50-50, I say. Look, if it's all the same to you, I am not very, useful in battle. So if you guys would like, I can provide you with these lovely, lovely injections of things, and I can keep an eye on them. Maybe call you if they decide to come and get a little bit too close, huh?
I hate to leave you all alone.
The doors have locks, and I know how to fly a little.
Okay. If they begin to approach the ship, get airborne. We can't let them potentially get their hands on what we're carrying.
Oui, Captain. I'm going to give you my nanite dance party injector vial. And I'm also going to give you 2 what kind of look like these spherical, like kind of semi-gummy drop-looking things. They 2 fog of pleasure orbs. When you burst them like a juicy gusher, it'll release this chemical that mixes, and then just sort of as it hits the air becomes this airborne fog of pleasure that incapacitates people for 1d4 rounds, but at the same time heals them for 4 hit points, or 1d4 hit points.
I will probably ask later, okay, what was the length on that? So just be prepared.
Oh, yeah. Matisse will just explain this is the good stuff.
Got it.
Yes, but don't inhale directly. And don't eat it. They're not for eating.
As
They look
soon
like
as sorry.
That's
As soon as we land, I'm going to pull out the tribute that we have not identified.
Uh-huh.
And you have to activate it to identify it, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Are these multi-use items, or are they once-ever type items?
They are multi-use, so you can, depending on the neuromancy points you have, that's how many times you can use the magic in a day. And
Okay,
it can be on any tributes that you have.
Okay. I am going to activate it to find out the one we haven't used to see what it does.
Okay. So you are going to spend a neuromancy point, then roll a presence test.
That is a 16.
Okay. And then roll a d20 as well, just a flat d20.
13.
As you do that, you realize, like, you pop open the tribute, and it kind of gives a strange little instruction, almost like a little instruction manual, and basically telling you to speak into it. And when you do, a Grimm will answer your questions for a short period of time.
Is it like it's forced to answer questions?
Yes. It's something about it has a magical power to make the Grimm respond to you.
Oh, this could be useful. Apparently it forces a Grimm to respond to questions. This could be very useful.
Well, hopefully we live long enough to use it.
It's good to have dreams. Let's get in there and let's get this over with. We've got 25 minutes.
So as you work your way around the building to go towards the front, you see the signage at the front of the building that normally says LabCorp has a big S, like, painted right in front of it for SlabCorp. It looks like everything's just been, like, big chunks have been taken out of concrete signage, where something's crashed and landed. You can hear howls and things on the other side. Littering this side of the wall, you see bodies of people that are not Grimm, that are just fallen legionnaires that must have been hit from something coming over the other side of the wall.
I look for any that have shotguns.
Okay. Looking around, you manage to see at least 2 that have shotguns. Most everybody, though, has some sort of electric, some sort of battery powered blaster, either a blaster.
I'm going to look in the likely places where they would carry ammo to see if they've got any additional shells.
Okay. Roll 3d6.
You want a total or the numbers?
Total.
10.
That's how many shells you're able to find.
Oh, yes. Awesome. And continue moving on.
Okay. As you work your way up to the very front of the front of the building, you see the big door space that's there, and everything looks like it's kind of blocked off. What would normally have been glass doors has now been boarded up with some sort of material behind it. And it looks like that they've tried to barricade things from the inside.
Okay. You said we are approaching a door?
Yeah, it's like it's the very front of this building. It looks like this is some sort of large research facility or
Right.
or plant or something like that.
Okay. Kynes, think you can get this thing open?
I don't know, Doctor. Let me check. Is there an access panel or anything?
Pretty much anywhere. There's always some sort of like metal area out front. You could find, like, take off a tip of your finger, use a little screwdriver, unscrew the screws, pop it open, and then tie in.
Just for whatever. Is there an obvious like doorbell on this thing?
There is like there's like a speaker panel that you could push the button and try and speak into.
Yeah, I'll press that button while removing the screws from the plate.
If you wanted to talk to them, we would have pressed the bell, Kynes.
Oh, I was not aware. I figured it would be the most expedient way inside.
They're going to want answers to questions. It'd be faster to bypass.
As you say that, you see like an outside camera that's like over the doorway, and just kind of like focus in on all of you, and over the speaker, "We're not letting you in. Why are you here?
Are you in distress?
Have you seen it out there? Of course we're in distress.
We attempted to hail you, and you did not respond.
We've been a bit busy. What size ship do you have?"
I responded.
Too small to be of value.
Too small?
We don't even have enough bunks for all of us.
I sleep in a bathroom.
Then why should we let you in?
We are here to render humanitarian aid. I am while doing this actively trying to figure out how to open the door without his permission.
Okay. Roll a presence test while you're doing that.
How many survivors you have?
Inside we've got maybe 2 dozen.
13.
13. You start to uncrypt it, and the double door start to go, and it's like it's getting stuck on something physical on the inside, as opposed to it's not that you didn't do something properly with the mechanical side of things.
It appears that you have blocked the exits. In case of a fire, this would be a great hazard if you were trying to egress from the building.
Have you seen on the other side of the wall? I don't think we want to get out there.
Let me put it this way. You can let us in, or we'll get back in our ship and we'll blow a hole in the wall.
Hey, nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. And none of you have the sick. None of you are infected.
None of us are infected.
Not yet.
I am not
Recently
infected.
verified.
Oh, give us a minute. And he's like, and you hear stuff on the inside as things are being moved from behind the door. And then all of a sudden the door opens up. You see standing on either side of the big door two people dressed in Legionnaire outfits. It's like they all work for the same company. It all has the LabCorp logo that was on the outside of the building. It's all just kind of plain gray, full body type jumpsuit with lots of pockets, and they both have pulse rifles, and they are aimed at CC and Dr. Z as the doors open. You can step inside and they're
Yep.
just kind of looking out over you. But hurry it up.
Hurrying.
Just a moment, and I go starting to screw all the screws back in.
I thought I said hurry up. Come on.
Leave it
He's
kind
very
of fun.
thorough.
So I'm going to level with you. There's something here we're coming for. If we can get it, we'll be out of your hair in no time.
We'll
We
see.
just saw a warship pass overhead. Have you had any experience with them?
More and more Grimm keep showing up outside here. They're looking for something. And as the door shuts, they barricade it behind it. The space that you're in is about 80 feet wide. There's 2 desks, almost like reception counters at the front.
Mhm.
They're on the far ends on each side. It looks like what used to be some sort of fountains that are just busted and just everything's kind of crumbling. It looks like there was some sort of battle inside this building as well. The columns, there's 4 columns on either side. They look like they've had a lot of blaster work. And then there is a main hallway straight ahead that looks like it leads a stairway down beneath the surface of this planetoid. So
Okay.
this building itself was the only thing that you saw from the outside, but it looks like it leads to something deeper below.
Mind if we explore your facility?
Yeah, we mind. This is our place. We're here, and what is it that you're looking for?
It's a piece of machinery.
No, yeah? Well, we sure don't want it getting into the Grimm's hands, but tell me
You
why
really
we should
don't.
send it with you.
Brian,
Because we're putting together the pieces of machinery and it's a weapon against the Grimm. Our other ship that we have that's on a mission to get one of the other pieces currently has 2 of them on it.
2?
Mm.
And who sent you?
We're an independent legion. I guess you could say I sent us.
I'm gonna have to talk with the doctor and see if she'll sanction this.
How about I talk to the doctor?
We could arrange that. And
Brian, how many people could we conceivably cram on our ship?
let's see. For short-term travel or long-term travel?
Short term.
Short term.
You could probably easily it would weigh things down. You'd move a lot slower. You could fit a dozen without slowing anything down, and then you could probably fit another dozen with people just in hallways and in the cargo bay and stuff like that.
Do we have the fuel to be able to cart 24 people?
It depends on what sort of resources they have here and how far you
Okay.
want to go.
Okay,
Just the nearest place we can dump them.
pretty
Well,
much.
pretty much anything on these exoplanets probably isn't going to anything on the Rings Eternal probably isn't going to be very safe. So
Right.
the closest thing currently in the orbit right now, you could make it over to Marauder's cryosphere, and probably not run out of fuel.
Okay. I like the probably. That gives me confidence. All right. If you would take us to the doctor, that would be outstanding.
You see, yeah, somebody else come and take my spot. I need somebody to work the front, and he says, just follow me, and he walks.
What's your
over-
name? What's your name?
Crowder. People call me Crowder. You?
Crowder. Captain Davar Zelshaburn.
Captain. Zarshaburn.
Excellent pronunciation, Dr. Captain.
Thank you. I'm getting used to it.
As he walks, he just kind of goes down the stairs. The doors at the bottom of the stairs that open up into a 15-foot by 50 or by 25-foot room. It looks like this is more of a waiting area. There's a conference table. There's some decent chairs. There's a screen up on the far end of the wall that looks shattered. and it looks like it has just the feed from outside the wall, where you can see Grimm climbing up on top of each other. Looks like some clouds are moving in or something, shadowing overhead. There are doors to the east and west in the center of the room, going outbound. And he's like, you can wait here. We don't have much, but you want something to drink?
I'm good, thanks. Appreciate the offer, though.
You either you want anything?
He doesn't drink, and I'm good, thanks.
All right.
I am also fine.
Um, I'll be back with Doctor and Doctor Octave in just a minute. And he goes through the door on the right. While this is happening, Matisse outside, you see the shadow of the giant of Excaliborn is getting darker overhead as it makes its descent into the atmosphere.
Ooh, well, this is rather concerning. Matisse is kind of just keeping an eye on it. As far as where we're parked, are we? I mean, I imagine we're quite visible, but like, is there anywhere that we can kind of like move to be a little bit, safer?
So there's this building, then there's like a big wall around it, and there's like the flat behind the building, that's probably like three more sizes of the building back to the wall. So you're just kind of sitting in that open area. So not really, no.
Okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna. How long does it take to usually warm up the ship's engines if they're cold?
Because it hasn't been turned off for very long, it won't take long at all.
Okay, good. I'm just gonna keep watching for the time being, and just kind of keep my eye out, see if they disembark, and just try to stay in front of everything, just in case, like just be observant, that kind of thing.
Yep. Okay. After just is there anything that CC, Dr. Z, or Kynes you want to do while Crowder is gone from the room?
Yes, I would like to move over to Kynes and Cece, and in a very low voice saying, so here's my plan. We can offer to take them to, what was it called? Marauders
Cryosphere?
We can offer to take them to Marauders Cryosphere in exchange for giving us the part.
That's what I was thinking.
That is
Hopefully,
fine. With me.
I mean, that was the second thing I was thinking.
Now, the first thing I was thinking was just offer the doctor, but call it a hunch. She's going to have a soft spot for the people who've been keeping her alive so far.
Oh, I was thinking if we could get them, squeeze them all in the cargo bay, and then
jettison them.
Yeah,
I thought about that too. The only reason we can't do that is because that would drop the two. It would drop the two pieces that we're holding out as well.
Yeah, there's that as well.
So as long as we're in agreement.
Is there a computer panel there at either of the desks?
There is like a port that you can plug into. There's no computer, but there's a port that you could connect a computer to the network there.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to plug into that
Okay.
port.
Okay. Go ahead and plug in and roll a d20 to try and connect.
That is a 16.
Okay. And then roll another d20, and let me know what you get.
That's a 13.
What's your toughness?
My toughness is +5.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't like asking about the toughness.
You managed to connect in. What are you trying to do on the network?
My biggest question is basically what is this facility and who are this like personnel files is actually my number one thing I want to download really quick, and then schematics to the building is secondary.
Okay. So you were able to connect in. Now I want you to roll to see how much you can break through, to see how much data and what sort of level of clearance you can break through.
Sure. It's a 15 on the die.
Okay. You managed to get through and get personnel files. You download one about Dr. Octave Motorhead and Dr. Bertram Gossler, who seem to be the lead scientists on the project here. There is also a long dossier of legionnaires who are to help keep this facility operational. Some of them being more for more military based to try and keep everything safe and secure, to other people that are just keeping the operations moving, to smaller scientists and engineering assistants as well.
Cool. And then am I able to access schematics?
You're starting to access schematics when the door that Crowder went through opens up, and you see him walking in along with an older woman, probably in her mid 60s, short gray hair, shorter, kind of just a grayish complexion. And she looks over at you all. Are you going to stay connected?
Doctor, so nice to meet you. Dr. Z, captain of this crew.
I see. I am Dr. Motorhead, and I hear that you are trying to relieve us of some of our equipment.
We are, yes.
And why? Why would I want to entrust you with such a thing?
Because the equipment that we're attempting to pull together is a weapon against the Grimm.
Ah. How do you know about this weapon?
That's not important.
Yeah, it's very important to me, as it's part of a project that has been near and dear to my heart for quite some time. Many, many, many years.
I was part of Project Dawngloom. We were attempting to find ways to reverse the effects of the Grimm.
I didn't think there were any survivors of Dawngloom.
I'm the only one.
My sincerest apologies for sympathy.
Oh,
for what.
That's great and all, but in about
Appreciated.
20
But
minutes.
we're on
this
a limited
is gonna
time
be
schedule
overrun.
here.
Well, honestly, you need to take myself and Dr. Gossler with you.
We can do that.
There will be no one that knows how to keep what we have at the right levels without our assistance, and you do not want it going wrong.
Done.
And is this everyone? It's quite big, and well, do you have room for any of the Legion here?
We'll take as many as we can. Do you have any extra fuel cells?
We can get some. Yes. First, let's get this. Let's get Frankie loaded.
Sounds good.
Um,
And I'll turn so that my back is to her, and I'll look at Cece and Kine and just wink.
So, after they say to keep everything at the right levels,
uh-huh.
I abandon the schematic search and start looking for what is the function of this facility.
Roll another d20 and let me know what you get, because this is higher clearance for presence.
I want to use my one of my favors, to lower it a band.
Okay.
And so that's going to be a 13.
Okay. And then roll a. So did you already lower it, or so it'd be 13 plus 4?
I want to lower the difficulty a
Okay.
band. I rolled a 13.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and roll another d20 and add your toughness as well.
That is a 22.
Okay. As you download a lot of information about about fusing nanite technology with a worm named Frankie, a Ramethus worm, and about how that is going to be a way to fight off the Grimm by inoculating them with some sort of nanite technology that has fused into this worm system.
Okay. Unless asked to do anything else, I'm going to spend most of my time just downloading any of the research files that I can find.
Okay, you download what you can before everybody starts walking down the hall that Dr. Octave came out of.
Okay.
You go through a corridor that is that the door's shut. It's a decontamination corridor that you first go through that just kind of zaps everybody. And then you go into another room that looks like this is more of a research room with a number of computer stations, and there's big kind of electronic whiteboards all over the walls. And they're just kind of walking briskly through. Crowder in the front with Dr. Octave behind. Walk through another corridor with another decontamination, and then into a massive room that's almost that's shaped like this, and then in the center is a giant canister with a Ramethus worm in a pinkish gooey fluid that also has cybernetic technology infused with it. As all of you enter into the room, you see it kind of twist and turn in the tube, and it kind of looks out at you. It's easily 15 feet long inside the canister, the worm itself. So
is this thing going to fit in with the
people? Well, we're only
cannon?
taking 2 of them.
That's not my concern. Is this going to fit in with the cannon, the injector that we need to take with us?
It's going to be a tight fit.
Yeah.
So this is Frankie, and we need to make sure that Frankie is stabilized for all of the trip.
I turn to Kynes. This is the piece we're looking for.
This is not the piece we are looking for.
Okay.
There's something else here that we're actually looking for. It's not Frankie.
I don't know what it would be.
Can you describe the piece?
I'll project a picture of the piece.
You project it, and now seeing the projected piece alongside of it, it is the canister itself is the right shape for what's in the thing that says inoculate.
Okay.
So it does make, seeing it side by side, it makes sense that even though it looks like it's more of a mechanical piece in the illustration, that this is indeed the piece.
I stand corrected.
That schematic. That is the map. You are on the right path.
Yep, we kind of told you that.
Let's get this loaded in the ship. We're on a limited time frame before problems erupt.
Well, the only way out is up. Let us see if we can get some power cells. And how many did you say you could fit on the ship?
Maybe a dozen.
Okay. Crowder, get as many people as you can here. And get anyone else. As that happens, you start to let me go over to Matisse. Matisse,
actually, real quick, can I radio Matisse or comm Matisse?
Sure.
Matisse, we've got the part. We're going to be bringing some folks out with it that we're going to have to cram on the ship. How are things out there?
Everything's fine.
Why are you whispering?
I'm not whispering. You're whispering.
I'm not whispering. I'm speaking at normal tone. Shh.
They are just overhead,
Ah.
but so far, they have not noticed me.
If that changes, radio me immediately.
Okay.
As you say that, like the ship gets lower, and you see it just kind of open up from underneath, and all of a sudden, like it's almost like a waterfall of Grimm coming down out of the ship, down to the far side of the yard, where the at the very end, where inside the wall.
Captain,
Yes.
so I'm still safe. But, you guys might be screwed.
What's going on?
There's a horde of the Grimm running towards you right now.
Shit. Apparently, that warship that we saw earlier is evacuating Grimm into the compound.
As you say that, all of a sudden, like all these warning sirens start going off inside the compound. Lights start flashing. Oh, no,
Matisse.
this is it.
Matisse, get airborne, but be ready to land quick.
Oui. Okay. Matisse immediately springs to his feet and sort of bangs his hands on the console. He's like, if we had an AI, this would be so much easier. But of course, we don't have any such thing.
As you start banging on that, the platform that you are all on down below starts going up, and behind where your ship is, Matisse, you notice that ground is opening up, like almost like a hatch, as your platform that you are all on is starting to rise up, because that was the only way for this large piece of equipment to come in and out of the facility, is moving up.
All right.
Was Matisse still on comms when he said that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm leaving the channel open at this
That's
point.
fine. Internally, not out loud. Ship, can you lift off and hover above the facility?
Yes. Where would you like me to hover? Just over the main building?
Yes, please. About 50 meters above your current position.
Will do.
So just to clarify,
Uh-huh.
Matisse has no understanding of there being an AI here in the ship, and the ship is now going to wrest control from Matisse.
Yep. And
Look,
just
as far
start-
as you know, that hitting the console just like you hit it, perfectly.
it just starts taking off.
Oh yeah. But I mean, if it starts piloting itself, Matisse knows enough to know that that's not what it should be doing.
Yep.
He
Matisse
can
will...
tell he's not the one in control.
Oh yeah. Matisse is all about control. He panics. He's Captain.
Yeah.
I think they're in the ship.
What?
I've lost control of the vessel. It is starting to take off by itself.
Right.
I'm gonna frantically try and use my knowledge of computer systems to try and route whatever it is that's doing this.
Matisse, scan the ship for Grimm.
Matisse,
Pardon?
listen to me. You're going to need to perform the corkscrew maneuver.
He's not doing the damn corkscrew.
Roll a presence test to try and pilot the ship over what's currently being piloted on its own.
That is a 23.
You managed to take control of the ship and pilot it wherever you want to go. Somehow you're like moving faster than Vector is.
All right. I'm basically at this point, Matisse is like, you kind of see like he kind of like has this like, I swore I'd never touch the wheels of a ship again. Like kind of like the Tokyo drift, and starts like just basically what I want to do is I want to circle the facility, but I want to do it while having the nose of the ship pointing towards the building, right? I want to then bank backwards and then basically create like a ring of fire around the entranceway and just use the thrusters to like just basically keep enough support to hold that formation and just do laps around the facility.
Excellent. I think you can manage to do that with that 23 that you rolled. You're doing that as the platform is raising up. There's a few legionnaires that are running, leaping, trying to get on the platform as it's moving up. There's only the three of you and four other legionnaires, along with two doctors, Dr. Octave and Dr. Gosler, who you had not previously met, but they managed to get there right as it was starting to move up.
Sorry, my brain just went to doctor.
That's what I was thinking, Doctor.
I was ready for it. I was ready for it.
Crowder's
so glad I'm not
busy
the only one.
radioing people, telling people to get in position, and as you see, as the platform gets to the ground level outside, you see just piles and piles of Grimm working their way towards you from the far end of the facility, as other little elevator type things are popping up out of the ground with 2 or 3 legionnaires on each one with pulse rifles aimed in the back area, as though they're going to try and help kind of protect the line and allow you to get to your ship, and allow Frankie to get off of this rock.
All right. Matisse, do you have visual on us?
Do I? As I'm banking around, I'm kind of looking out the sides.
You see all of a sudden like a large cylinder thing, 15 feet long by like 10 feet high, and your group, your legion, lift up along with a handful of other people on this platform.
Yes, I can see you, Captain.
All right, swoop in. Let's get this loaded and get the hell out of here.
All right.
Do not corkscrew.
You know, so you can actually see I'm already kind of corkscrewing around the whole building as he's moving around. Yeah, I'm going to try and so which way? So basically, what I want to do is I want to, just because I'm cocky as shit right now, I want to tell everyone to move away from the big heavy machinery. And what I want to do is I want to come at speed towards the machine.
Mm-hmm.
I want a 180 and drop the cargo bay door and scoop it in.
Okay. Go ahead and radio that in to the party, and then roll and let me know what you get for your piloting.
All right, I'm not going to have time to land. I need everyone to either get on top of the machine or move out of the way.
Okay. Who gets on top? Who moves out of the way?
I'll jump on top of the machine.
I'll get on the machine.
I'll get on the machine.
I hate this plan.
and that, better than the corkscrew.
Dr. Z actually says, as she's climbing on the machine, I hate this plan.
You watch this like smoke injection engine from behind the ship just sort of as it spins around to get like a really big turning circle, and it starts to make its way towards where you are, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. As it then starts to lower to the ground, the landing gears do not come up, as they basically you see sparks kind of like hitting the ground as how low he's gotten. And
dun, dun,
so
dun.
just before I roll,
Moment of truth.
so just before I roll for favors,
Mm-hmm.
can I can use that to re-roll?
Uh-huh.
And I can use it. Can I use it for any kind of boost to lower the DC by 6?
You can
Or 4?
lower it by 4.
Yeah, it's because Dave said 6 earlier on. I was like,
Yeah.
just got me. Okay, here we go. You know what? I'm even going to use my infinite black dice.
Nice.
Those
That's
are
it,
the
we need my
only
info.
dice I use.
Yeah. I got like 3 dice in here, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely use these ones. All right, here we go. That is a 21.
Somehow you managed to like do exactly what you said. You slid right in, and things are like sliding up, like you're just kind of like almost like using a spatula to scoop this thing up. as this happens, everybody make an agility test. Just to, even though he's smooth, it doesn't mean you all are smooth as this is happening.
Yeah. What is that? Agility, you said?
Yep.
What is my agility?
To this point, Kynes has just refused to make any of these agilities tests. So I just need to determine, is this to see if we hold on?
Yes.
22.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's a 10, but I'm going to use a favor to reduce it by 4.
Good call. Good call. Okay. And I'm sorry, what did Dr. Z get?
22.
Okay. You all managed to hang on. You see the doctor that you spoke to just kind of falls over and starts rolling off of the platform. Does anybody do anything to try and stop her from rolling off?
Can I grab her?
Yes, you can try. Make another agility test to try and grab her.
Okay, that is 16 plus 3, 19.
Nice. You managed to grab her hand just as she's starting to fall over. And as that happens, the wall that's closest to you, like even though the majority of the Grimm were on the other side, the wall that's closest to you, Grimm just start flowing over and start leaping towards where your ship is.
All right. Now, because the ship is going backwards as it scoops up, I want to basically throw the ship into reverse, and what I want to do is I want to then take off backwards, banking downwards, so that the reverse thrusters push us up and over the wall.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll another piloting test to see what happens.
And this is for Dave. I'm going to request to burn a favor, my last favor of the day, in order to, as I'm doing that, to corkscrew and knock as many of these creatures off the wall as I can.
All right. Go ahead and roll that die.
All right, that's a 21 again.
Excellent. You are somehow you are piloting this thing backwards, corkscrewing your way up. Roll a let's see. Dave, roll a d6.
All right. That's a 5.
Okay. As you're knocking things off, everybody's kind of like, you're going backwards all of a sudden, kind of like this. Everybody was hanging on, but as you're knocking things off, you managed to knock 5 Grimm into the ship as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it the why?
The tribute that I got,
Yes.
that allows me to speak with a Grimm, or
Yes.
allows us to speak with a Grimm. Would that include the worm, or is that different?
You don't know. As far
Okay.
as what you read when it kind of gave the projection, it said the Grimm, so it did not say worm. So
Okay. All right. As we see these 5 get scooped in, I'm going to yell, "Kill 4, keep 1 alive."
All right.
Well, we'll see if they cooperate with that. Shoulder the pulse rifle.
So right now
Yeah.
everybody's kind of like hanging on because you're like the ship is not the ship's tilted like this and going up and then
Yep.
over. So and the cargo bay is still open as far as I know.
So
Well, I mean, as I've hit the wall, I'm going to start to close it because my intention is at this point, as it's closing, to then flip back around and head into space.
Okay. And then what did you say, Dave?
I'm just grabbing my pulse rifle off my shoulder.
Okay.
Is there any way for me to lock my feet or legs in or around this machine?
Yeah, you can try and like, so it wasn't really like it's more like a giant test tube with like mechanical stuff on the side. So it's like as it's going, it's like sliding and getting it's moving into the ship as well. It's not really locked in because it was scooped up. So you can lock your legs around it. You might get pinned in depending on how the flying goes. So just kind of depends on how you want to do it.
What I'm hearing is we're in a bad way either way.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
But hopefully things will level out in just a minute. Let's see. Dr. Z, will you roll initiative for the group for whenever things do level out? It's the
Yes,
D6.
initiative is the D6, correct?
Yep.
That's a 5.
Okay. So you all will get to go first. So you can all roll individual D6s for initiative and add your agility modifier.
I've got an 8.
I also got an 8.
What am I doing again? Sorry.
Rolling a
Initiative.
D8 and adding your agility.
Oh, it's a D8?
Oh, no, I'm sorry,
sorry.
D6.
Okay, then I did
just
roll the
upped it.
right one, yeah.
Am
I'm
I
sorry,
doing this,
I
or
got
am I
7.
hanging out?
Sorry, what'd you say for Kynes?
Oh, am I also rolling initiative, or am I just acting at the end?
I think you'll just be acting at the end since you're piloting.
I didn't get an 8. I just got a 7.
Okay.
We were so close.
I'm sorry. I let y'all down.
So you manage to Matisse manages to level it out and turn it around and start heading towards space. The couple.
Can I also say that Matisse has just this look of like, just he's so pleased with himself. Like he's just sitting there, his feet are back. He's like, we got away from the Grimm. He has no idea that we're being attacked from behind, and then he scooped a bunch of people in. He's just like, beautiful. It was perfect, flawless, and like he's borderline celery. He's pouring himself out like some gin. Like
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so the big Frankie has just kind of leveled off, is sitting there. The couple of legionnaires that managed to get on with the doctors are trying to just hold on and brace the big thing as these 5 Grimm are kind of getting to their feet. And it's kind of tight quarters now in the cargo space, because there's the one bedroom like down here, but in just this space itself, there's not a lot of room to maneuver around. So there are 5 Grimm, and let's see. CC, what do you do?
I try and shoot one of them.
Okay. Roll to hit, roll presence.
That is a 15.
That hits. Roll the damage.
All right. Let's see. One of these. That's 7 points of damage.
Nicely done. So you blast a big hole in this Grimm as it looks at you and pulls, like it readies a blaster to shoot at you. Not yet, but let's see. And Dr. Z, what do you do?
I know I'm holding Dr. Motorhead, was it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm holding Dr. Motorhead. Since we're in the ship now, I'm going to let go of her and step back off the machine and pull up my shotgun and unload on one of them.
Okay. Roll to hit.
It's presence, right?
Yes, it is.
That is a 21.
Okay. That hits. Roll the damage.
Okay. D8. That's 8.
That one, like you blast into it. You see, like part of its spacesuit takes a little bit of the damage, but you almost completely annihilated that one as big chunks are flying out. And all of them, like kind of all the other ones, look at it and then look back. Kynes, you see all of this happening. What would you like to do?
Captain, would you like me to secure the payload, or would you like me to take care of the Grimm?
Take care of the Grimm. All but one. Keep one of them alive, everybody.
Engaging defense mode, 80% lethality, engaged.
And I turn to Dr. Motorhead. This is going to be good.
I rolled a 12 to activate my electro axe.
Excellent. that does it. You used your tribute to activate it, and you will be able to attack with it next round. Um, the one that CC attacked is moving in because this is close enough quarters. It's moving in and just trying to like hit you with the blaster across the face, just with like the butt of it. Roll an agility test to try and dodge.
How many of the guards made it onto the ship? Any of them?
There were, because of how everything rolled out, there were 3 legionnaires that managed to.
Awesome. Okay.
And I'll have them.
And did we get both doctors or just Motorhead?
Both doctors. And I'll let
Okay.
you guys roll for the legionnaires once these Grimm go.
Okay.
All right, so that is a 12.
Okay.
And I think that gets lowered by 2 because of the armor.
Oh, because you're wearing the you're wearing the tier 3 arm, or the mech enhanced armor, or the.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it does. So
Well, not
that
tier
raise-
3, it's tier 2, but
Okay.
it still lowers it.
Yeah, so that makes it a 10. So you did not dodge the punch, but roll a d2 for the damage you take, then roll the damage that you soak, and I think you'll probably be pretty even.
All right, so damage. Oh, that's a D4 I need for the soaking.
And I can't remember, does your suit have a helmet?
Yes.
Okay.
So I take 2, but I reduce it by 1.
Okay. So you got hit by 1. One is going to try and shoot a blaster at Dr. Z. So Dr. Z, can you roll an agility test with a DR of 12?
I rolled a 12 exactly, so my agility I think is 3. Yes, 15.
Okay, you completely managed to avoid that one. Would each Dave, Tony, and Katie, would you each roll a d20 for the legionnaires that are there? Because there are 3 Grimm that are going to attack the other ones.
I got a 2.
17.
17. Okay. Who got a 2?
Dave.
Okay, and what'd you get, Tony? Your audio's kicked out again. 2. Okay, awesome. Okay, so 2, they both of them get blasters. Would each of you roll a d6 for the damage that they took?
4.
4 and 2. The 2 legionnaires that were there to try and help out, 2 of them just fall to the ground after being blasted. The remaining one, Katie, will you roll for their attack?
Yeah.
On one of the on one of the Grimm, they're going to try and blast her. So just roll a d20.
9.
And it shoots and misses. Luckily, not hitting anyone in your legion, but also hitting the inside of the ship, causing a little bit of damage on the cargo bay that's going down. Matisse, you hear all of this stuff going on. You still just kind of gonna drink your drink?
Oh no. Just spit gin halfway across the room. Do we have cameras in the back there?
This ship did not have cameras in the cargo area.
Matisse radios in.
We're a
And
little
then
fucked.
turns up.
We're a little fucked.
And then turn off his comms. Okay. Piloting wise, is there how's the big ship looking?
The big ship looks like it is starting to it's slowly trying to pivot and turn towards like your direction, but you're a much faster ship, and it looks like it's just trying to get in the direction that you're heading.
Okay, so I'm gonna focus on. Oh, do we have grab boots?
Sure. Yeah.
Did the Grimm have grav boots?
Depends on the Grimm. Some may, some may
I
not.
love the look on Dave's face because he knows what's coming.
Yep.
Do they?
Though some of them wear them, some of them don't. You'd have to actually go back and take a look at the ones that are back there to see if the ones in the ship have them on.
No, I'm good. I radio in. Ladies and gentlemen, please activate your grav boots if you would be so kind.
I yell to the 3 people who are still alive that we picked up. If you've got grav bits, time to turn them on.
Okay. You see the one Legionnaire look down, and you hear Dr. Octave Motorhead. What's going to happen? What are you
We're
doing?
about to flip, I'm guessing.
I'm going to turn off all the inertial dampeners, and then I start corkscrewing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the piloting.
If the corkscrew isn't working, you're just not using it enough.
Does Motorhead have grav boots?
No.
Grab me.
Mm.
Oh, that sounded bad.
What'd you get?
I got a 12.
Okay. Because
I'm
you're
really
just flying
grateful
through
for that
space and you're
plus-
not trying to avoid anything in particular. You're able to start corkscrewing. Two of the Grimm start flying around. The other 3 seem to have activated their boots when you said that. But the biggest concern is the heavy equipment that's in the cargo bay area is now just like tumbling around. Roll a Michael. Roll another d20 and just tell me what you get.
Please don't break
that is
the
a-
Grimm container.
That is a 1.
You broke the Grimm container.
Do you
Or
want
the
to
worm
spend a
container.
favor to re-roll that? Just
I
that's-
have no favors remaining.
Can I use a favor for him to re-roll that?
You can.
Yes, I'll blow a favor for him to re-roll that.
That is a natural 20.
So you.
That is the best use of a favor.
That is the best use ever.
So as you're corkscrewing, instead of the big canister like hitting the wrong corner and shattering and cracking, instead it smashes up against one of the Grimm, pinning it up against the wall as you're managing, or up against the ceiling as you're managing to corkscrew. And hang on, who activated gravity boots in your crew? Okay.
Look, should kinds of activated gravity boots? Yes. Does he have gravity boots? Absolutely. He never, whenever he's inside the ship and things are getting tossed around, he just goes with the flow. So no.
Roll an agility test then.
He serves.
No,
the
I'm
way
just
of
gonna say
chaos.
I'm gonna just slam into the wall and take the hit. Like, so Kynes' mentality here is he's tougher than the walls, generally
I'm
speaking.
sure.
So it's more about the landing than it is about the maneuvering.
You know,
Awesome.
all I can imagine is that meme with George Carlin going, "Guess I'll die."
Roll a d2 for damage for getting slammed around for Kynes.
Okay. I rolled and I took 1 damage and I soaked up 3 damage.
Excellent. You are tougher than the ship. Everything's spinning around. We're back to the top. Cece, what are you going to do? The corkscrewing, I assume you're going to stop the corkscrew, or are you going to just keep going for Matisse flying?
Can I?
I was gonna say how. I was gonna say I probably won't corkscrew for that long. You know, just more of potential to knock over any Grimm that might be in the back there, or that are in the back there. Just basically just to disorient them more than anything else. So I'm not just gonna keep corkscrewing until the G forces pull them apart. Although, no, I'm not
Okay.
good.
So the
We
corkscrew-
probably have the same tensile strength as the Grimm.
So I want to make So I'm looking at the ship, right? I'm looking at the map of the ship.
Yep.
Which area is the cargo area?
It should be the second map. That's the smaller part, and it should have a room down. There's like a bathroom in the upper left hand corner. Then there's like a room with 2 beds. So it's not a very
Okay.
big cargo area right down there.
And at the end, is that the stairs leading into the
That's-
main?
In the center are the stairs going up. Oh no, I'm sorry. On the side are ladders going up.
That's a pallet.
Okay,
yeah, that's
okay.
a
I
pallet
want to
right
make
there.
my way. I what Cece's going to try and do is make his way to the ladders.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, you're able to make your way to the one of the ladders really easily and start working your way up. Is that where you want to go?
That is where I want to go.
Okay, you work your way up for your action this turn, and get to the upper level. Dr. Z, what would you like to do?
I'm going to continue attacking. Where is the one that's almost dead in relation to me? Can I get to him without being in direct engagement with the others?
Because there's 5 total, you're gonna, and the space is small. Getting to it, you're gonna be in direct engagement with at least one of the other ones.
Okay. I've got the ammo. I'm going to shoot the same one that I worked on earlier.
Okay.
It's presence, right?
Yep.
18.
Nice. That hits.
Okay. And 7 again.
Okay. That one barely hanging on. You just obliterated that one. That one, all the bits and pieces fly out everywhere. Chunks of worm from the inside of it splatter out. As it does not scream, but the other 4 that remain let out a small, high-pitched shriek as that one becomes obliterated. And inside the tank, the giant Ramethus worm that's in there is turning around and spinning and slamming up against the glass that's encasing it, trying to find a way to break itself free.
Okay.
Kynes, what are you doing?
Pulling myself off the wall and is the nearest so far uninjured Grimm I would like to hit with my Electro Axe.
Okay, very good. Roll to hit. The strength test.
Did the one who got pinned die?
It did not.
Okay.
It's a good candidate. I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay, very good. Roll the damage.
Those are all the wrong dice. Dice. Where are you?
They make me happy.
Oh, that's a 10?
You just slice right through this Grimm. It's like just like splitting it right down the middle. And it just falls to the ground. The 3 that remain, one is going after the doctor, and like the one that was pinned up against the wall. After things settled, things slid away, and it went and goes and tries to pin itself on the doctor.
Which doctor?
Yeah, there's
On Dr. Octave Motorhead that you had actually officially met. So Kynes, will you roll an agility test for the doctor?
It's a 3.
Okay. Then will you roll a d6 and then also another d6?
They're going to take 1 point of damage all day.
Okay. You just see it kind of the Grimm that's on top of it. It's almost like it's getting sick somehow, and it just starts spewing out small tiny worm larvae, and they just start like burrowing into her mouth and going down into her throat. and the other doctor just is like pushing all these buttons on the canister, trying to. You see things lighting up. You hear weird buzzes and noises as she is trying to get something situated with Frankie. As the other
So
Legion-
Motorhead got worm infected.
Yes, and
Okay.
the remaining Legionnaire moves and just kind of has its gun, is shooting at one of them and is blocking the other doctor to try and prevent anything from happening. So Dr. Z, will you roll to hit for this Legionnaire?
Mm-hmm. That is a 16 on the die.
Okay, and then will you roll a d8?
16s. Yes. 3.
Okay. You see see a little bit of blaster fire shoot out, pulse rifle from this Legionnaire at one of the Grimm that takes just a little bit. Matisse, what are you doing up in the ship, or up piloting the ship?
Assistance, s'il
vous plaît.
Okay. They are still in trouble. How far? I presume we're away. We're in space. We're in space now.
Yeah, you're starting to break through the atmosphere, and you're getting up into space now, because that was just like 2 rounds that all that stuff happened.
All right. I will start doing this.
Excellent. Anybody that is not locked into the ground, roll agility tests.
As that starts happening, I'm just going to call over comms one more time. Payload is not secure.
Of course, that makes perfect sense. I did not consider this. Secured the payload.
We can't.
We've
busy
got
trying
a
to
bunch
kill
of
Grimm.
Grimm we're busy with.
Oh.
I want to imagine that's actually Matisse making that noise.
No, it is.
Okay.
It is 100% Matisse making the noise and then turning off his comm. Because Matisse is a coward and he can't fight. I am a doctor. Apparently, I drive drift ships every now and then.
Right.
But I have a boot knife and a syringe that can make people dance.
And poop.
And we've seen what happens with that.
It's
Yeah.
not pretty.
Pretty good brain surgeon too.
But didn't I
You are a good
give
brain
you?
surgeon.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a great brain surgeon, but I mean, do you need brain surgery? I mean, I can come down there and perform.
Someone's about to.
Well, I also gave you those stunning healing bombs as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, I do
Yeah,
know
okay.
that. But the only person who's taken damage to heal is
No, it also
worm
stuns you
infested.
it also stuns you for 1d4 rounds.
Can I throw this or do I have to pinch it? To
It's like a
activate it?
splat. You can throw it and it should.
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh, I thought I had to like pinch it and it would. But
Yeah,
it
you just have to
heals
break the-
too.
you have to
So
break
I
the
don't want
membrane.
to.
Have you ever had those like plasticless water bottle, like the little squishy?
like a Capri Sun,
Like
Like
also.
a water
like a-
balloon?
Yeah, so what they do now in like triathlons and stuff is they have this membrane that's around water and it's edible. You basically put it in your mouth, you eat the whole thing, and it has no waste. It's really cool,
That is cool.
Um,
I've not
and it
seen
kind of
that.
tastes a little bit like rice paper, a little bit more gummy.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, and then you
Do not taste
Okay.
this one though.
yeah, don't eat this. I mean, you could. It's just not great.
But it also heals, doesn't it?
Yes, it'll heal them, but it will stun them for 4 rounds. And I mean, if they can't move, and you can just it's like that 4 hit points will go away very quickly.
All right.
Yep.
It's more than 4. Oh, the 4 healing. I see. Okay.
Well, it's 1d4 healing and 1d4
Yeah.
rounds of stun.
Yep.
So
Okay. Okay.
Kynes,
With my luck, it'll stun for a round and heal for 4.
Yeah, that's my luck.
That's right.
Kynes, was that a 6 or a 16 that you had.
You know, I realized what you were asking for a roll for, and I should have made that roll. But here's what I would like to parlay that roll into. That was a 14.
Okay.
But what I would like to parlay it into, and I'll use a favor if it's necessary narratively, I would just like to slam into one of the Grimm. So this is more of a tactical launch across the bay than it is a full float fall.
Okay. No. It's,
Kynes is moshing with the Grimm.
yes. So yeah, you can totally you rolled with that the up and down and just kind of used your agility to throw yourself into it. So yes, you slammed into a Grimm. So you're up close and personal with one of those Grimm for this next round. It wasn't enough to really do any damage to it.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
Okay, so that brings us to Cece. You are now up on the next level of the ship. You're in the corridor that has at two ends like two little circles. You gonna shoot?
It's a 15 to shoot one of the injured Grimm.
Excellent.
And that is 6 points of damage. Preferably the one I shot before, if that one's still floating around.
Okay. Yep. You shoot it, and it just like falls forward, right onto the ground as you blasted through its head.
So, the ladder, does it go like up through the floor?
It does.
Or
so it's like a cut hole. So it's like the ladder's up against the wall, and it's just like a hole in the floor there. So
okay, so then what Cece would do when it gets to the top and he's kind of in the hall there at the hole, he'll take a knee so that he can see down and aim through the hole, but also has his mag boots. Maybe one's against the wall and one's against the floor. So he's kind of locked in place, but he also kind of has cover as well by leaning back.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he's safe from the cargo.
Yes. Very good. Dr. Z?
Shooting. I'm going to shoot a new one.
Okay. There are only 2 remaining. One has already been damaged.
Okay. Can I shoot the one that is near Kynes?
You can. Yep.
All right. That is 14 plus 5, 19.
That hits.
Okay. And 8. And that's 4.
Okay.
15.
You shoot it. You see like a little chunk fly off of its shoulder. Kynes, what are you going to do?
I'm going to hit the one that I was that I'm now hugging with the electro axe.
Excellent.
That's a 10 plus 2, 12.
That hits.
Why did I put that die away? That is 9 damage.
That one falls to the ground, just completely obliterated. The one that remains looks at everyone, takes its blaster, and starts shooting at the canister.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
Oh, that can't be good.
I would like
Only
to
we had a way to
Can I
stun
step
it.
into that?
What's that?
Can I step into that?
You can attack and move. So roll an agility to see if you can get in the way. It's going to be a difficulty of 14.
I'm going to use my last favor to step into it to reduce the thing, because that's going to be a 11.
Okay, yep, and that would do it if you reduced it by 4. Okay, so you step into it, roll d6 for damage that you take.
It's 4, and then my armor is a minus D2. Well, that didn't work. Okay, so that's minus 2. So, okay, so I take 2 points of damage.
Okay, so you just took 2. And as that's happening, the worm inside Frankie is like slamming up against a canister, trying to hit it. Dr. Gosler is busy pushing buttons, and the Legionnaire is just standing there. It's on the other side of the tube and cannot shoot at the Grimm that's there.
Okay.
Matisse, what are you going to do?
Is there still the sounds of struggling?
Yeah. You hear, oh,
Oh my god.
mother, and just a
Just-
streak of language.
I am piloting. I'm just trying to drown out the sounds of my teammates screaming. Okay, so I presume we've left atmosphere by now.
Yes.
Okay. Now I know we don't like we mentioned like there's no like AI per se that I'm aware of, but is there like a cruise control? Like is there like just like a-
yeah, you could set in the coordinates of like Marauder's cryosphere because that's where you're heading to, and kind of set it on that trajectory.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll definitely put that up there. And then I'm going to make my way over to the cargo bay.
Okay. So you will work your way between setting the trajectory, walking through the common area into the hall, and then down to the hall where the ladder takes you down. You enter the corridor. There's a entryway to the cargo bay on either end of the ship, the kind of east and west end, and you see Cece like laying on the ground with the head in the hole, going down one of the ladder wells. You can either go over to his side or go over to the other side.
Can I lock the cargo door?
The cargo door is you could, from the main ship console, you could lock the cargo door. Like, you mean the cargo hatch that goes down?
No. As in, so I presume there's the landing bay door, and then a separate door that separates that main cargo area from like the internal corridors and the rest of the ship.
No, because that's down on a lower level. So you're up on.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, they've got to come up the hatches and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's where CC is at the moment.
Yep. CC's like laying on the ground with the head through one of the holes.
Cool. I'm gonna go to CC.
Okay. And that's where your turn will end for this round. CC, what are you gonna do? You hear Matisse's footsteps coming up towards you. You recognize his walk.
I probably his respirator.
Yep.
And we're down to 2 Grimm down there?
One Grimm down there. One that just shot at and it's on the other side of the canister than what you had been aiming at previously.
Okay, so the canister's in the way.
Yep.
What if I move to the other hatch?
Yeah, you could run up and then go to the other one and then aim down from there.
You want this one alive, right, Doc?
Yeah, but we need to get it to where we can not be killed by it.
So it's using a blaster?
Yeah.
I want to try and shoot the blaster.
Okay. So you're going to run over to the other side, roll to shoot. The difficulty rating on this is going to be a 14 just because of the movement getting back down on the ground to aim in and also trying to shoot the blaster.
So that's a nat 20 for a 22.
Nice. You hit that blaster and it gets knocked right out of the hand of the Grimm as it turns and looks up at you. Dr. Z?
I am going to throw a fog of pleasure orb at the Grimm.
Okay. Roll to hit with a presence test.
Let's say dirty 20.
Excellent. It hits the Grimm.
So it's a
and roll a D4
healing. It gets 3 healing.
Okay.
And it is stunned for 2 rounds.
Okay. Kynes, what are you going to do?
That's a great question. Doctor, Do you need my assistance, or should I secure the payload now?
Secure the payload.
Calm
Deactivate
Frankie
defense
down while
mode.
you're at it. Tell him a bedtime story. Or her, or them.
I'm gonna get the netting to start securing the payload.
Excellent. You start doing that. There's also like clamps that you can lock in because the canister is on like metal ends. You can secure clamps down at its
Cool.
at the both ends and start working that. The Doctor Motorhead is getting up. Dr. Gosling and trying to help push different buttons on the thing to try and get everything stabilized and working. Dr. Z, you feel a little relaxed because you threw that gel thing at the Grimm, but it just turns at you and just kind of lunges and tries to just tries to hit at you. Roll an agility.
Oh my god, it didn't get affected.
It
No.
did not.
Agility is 17.
Okay, and I can't remember. Are you wearing any sort of mask?
Yes, thin grade carbon fiber.
Okay. Roll a d6 and just to make sure nothing seeped in.
4.
You still hear stuff going on down below, Matisse. You saw CC just kind of run by you as you got to him and shoot out the bottom side. What are you going to do now?
CC would just there they go. So the little hatch to the cargo bay is in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I look down. What do I see?
You see Kynes securing the payload. You see 2 doctors and a legionnaire at the payload. On the other side, you through like kind of the fluid and kind of around, you see that probably Dr. Z and maybe something else is on the other side. There's a few fallen Grimm on the ground, a couple of fallen legionnaires.
Oh boy. We'll climb down. We'll step over some of the legionnaires. Do any of them have a rifle?
Yes. Yes, there's a pulse rifle down there.
Once I'm down there, can I see the Grimm fighting Captain Dr. Z?
You can see that it's past the side that you're on the canister, so you would have to kind of go around to actually shoot at it.
Is my name officially Captain Dr. Z now?
Dr. Z. Yes.
Dr. Captain Z.
Dr. Captain Z.
Z.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I want to try something. Let me check this out. So these pulse rifles, what ammunition do they use?
They use a battery.
Battery? So the rounds themselves are energy weapons?
Yep.
Okay. So I would like to posit, are there any reflective surfaces on the ship that are in this area that may give me a line to the Grimm?
Most of the metal down here is not really shiny and buffed up. It's kind of just because it's a cargo area. Do you think there would be anything down there?
I silently curse Kynes for laxing in his job of making.
Actually, here's what I want to say. There are thousands of pieces of reflective metal all around you in that hallway. They're just all glitter, and so they don't do anything.
It's glitter! Yes! Oh
Yeah,
my god!
Perfect.
Okay. What I'd like to do is I'd like to find the basically you like what is the effectiveness of like a disco ball or a strobe light or whatever. And I want to fire my energy weapon at it to create like a shower of, rather than a single blast of energy.
Mhm.
I want to have it just sort of go and like spray outwards
Okay.
from the reflective surface.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Oh, I didn't realize I needed to roll to hit. Okay, that's a whole different thing. All right. That's a natural one.
Okay.
Oh,
You hit
You-
When I
everybody.
said I don't fight, I meant
you shouldn't fight. That's
I am holding.
Like
I'm
you-
probably holding the damn thing upside down. I like go. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. This is gonna be amazing. My battery falls out. It's just.
Now, I mean, I think in this situation, it's not that you don't hit. I think that it goes off perfectly. It's just that you hit probably way more than you intend to.
Yes.
probably
Yes.
hit me.
Oh, dang it!
Roll a d4 and let me know what you get.
All right. Well, I've actually got a trick for rolling a d4. Actually spin my d4s. That's a 2.
And then roll the d8 damage of the pulse rifle.
5.
The shiniest thing that you saw was a piece of metal on the actual end of the canister. But the thing is, it didn't refract off of that at all. Instead, it just hit the edge of it and severed it. And all of a sudden, the far end of the canister is now severely fractured from where the canister was. This pinkish goo that was in there holding this giant Ramethus worm just starts seeping out down the sides as you hear and the worm starts pushing and slamming the end of the canister. And that's where we should stop for the night.
No, it isn't.
Matisse just quiet. Matisse
I mean,
just
that's
quiet-
enough harm for one night.
He
Yeah.
puts the gun down and just climbs back up the ladder. Like,
So wait, I'm gonna flip a coin to see if I noticed Matisse being the one who fired that shot.
Hmm.
Oh, you are so lucky. That's a heads.
yay!
So that seems like a very good stopping point for this evening. Thank you all for playing. For everybody that's at home that tuned in and watched, thank you for your patience as the technical difficulties got the better of us earlier in the game. This was episode 4 of the Radical Terror Vast Grimm. We will be back in 2 weeks. We only have 2 more episodes left this year because, well, 2021 will be coming to a close since we're playing every other week. Tune in next week at the same time for an episode of Network Chatter where talk about all things Vast Grimm related.